abusiafo yemo bibia kwa ba na yemfa Bramake TV and platform we eso. Nana Yaa Juatuah presidential staffer. In fact, Jubilee House. Na ena minu ka say de o chiremu a obi bia obeye wadwinse obeka ensem ade atia Yaa Juntuah Mahama ewo mbreko a uni evidence no ono ebedine nyono na ene wakọ asempa obi the show so ekosi san dwumadi so one sampan MPP sampan. In fact, I think say oye Accra mayor, former Accra mayor mfanche mi na ene how a omo asi attack issues efa ECG mixing containers eho sounds na and the matters arising yenko na yenkoti Nana Juatuah ensema auditu edwa na yekoba yedinaka ina ebeto aso your platform we so make sure say obe like dwumadi na wa share na wa subscribe to the channel no for latest update yenti ensani bi yekoba ebeto aso
Agba ye nema nkoyi amoma e free we no akata media metre akire na se nema nkoyi wo so aba nu market yawo nka nkoji post wanka Nana Yaa
sampa me pese me ha
bana o twipa agodi post e ho fe do
ne me ho fe free
me ho fe dada ba pete dada
so unim me fa ho ma wo papa you see
so ne papa papa wo ska say tam ti ono dada ba pete
me papa you see ni a wo kasa no akasa yi ade ono kra de osan be twa mu ye regional secretary
ene na anti wo say wo be kwa akosra adwadi fo
o say oh ma hwehwe ho
ba wo kan
yes because they
say so enyen sapan
oh how
presidential staff and say
me place o unim say ma me shop wo ayi
oh okay
ami ho na mnyini yo mi kejeti ha na mnyini ye me pon school na beto de ma me shop ani ho na me hyansumade wo ho am papa mpe batimi na me hyansum me de nyam papa na yire no ho de anka
school we kran go to
kamijantem trading na ami so nya na me tonsumade ne ade wo ho me ton mangos fie me ton fie mangos ni ya
go fie mangos sa no abeto
ma ko hihye wa
onye de pa o mango fa be abeti sa ko di o da kwa kwata kejeti akwato mango so de pa
oh okay na eyi ufri fikasie mu ide your vice president what
na ho ye pa
we sure
oh why not
to the enkofo kekanya yem fanto
baby den
no Procurement
o send the intimate
pacho ne ho ye pacho
o meka kroma
anya hu nya so be hu kru e dey be pacho ni dey hu o amanone o hwe no o rest wo e dey Russia
that be Russia dey
and Russia yam bodies aka
o sampa wo sam ka jo so be lose election wenti ana say we lose wo be dwuno ho no wo nwuno ho ba bi ade nsem ne na wo te wo opposition
me pese Japan no be chi me say wo kasa pe ni abefa
o be bi amefa wo di boni awade ba befa yen kra mumu time obi me say mo obi nya hwekura mutimi kosoa no mo samase da bi na MPP time ene manwa dindindi e first manwa dindindi MPP time na wan etimi kasa
uli asem no enya no kure
de hin
say obi anya hwe because o chere anje na akwati na MPP time
de empesi e be kasa
wo ka chanse mam nipa ba ko pontimi nka we can change this near Nana Yaa no say point to one particular person onye hwe just say or criticize your buying
na sisi omo aya che omo na omo nye hwe
na omo ko hwan no aye bibi
for example obi anya hwe
agateche fu ya dia na no aye edien pa na no aye
ono MPP ni
edien pa man ka say this for the chi wo
MPP ni ana
man ka say ono ase o MPP ni
okay
ono ade aka so MPP Gordon
into ono pe na letimi aye
Gordon eno so on the OSP
na nya da ban kro no a
invite
enya ban kro no a
okay mate medase Nana Yaa Juatuah ma mensha se o enra and I know say committee minister forming say munye adwuma engaging for on a possible private sector participation in ECG no na o committee ne so ma say enra na mo de or report interim report to the minister. My recommendations
woman. Oh, yeah, recommendations ye jan open ya man almost 3 options. Say government in concession. You say buy a fair concession a year after the imparchment for in Chiama with tea funya me fan chairman minia penny sometime. Na your friend is saying sometime I will lose election. Yeah, well, Oma the concession after a PDS style.
Sure.
I one concessionaire. Yes. And you war multiple the franchise multiple concession and you the last mile the collection quality of service issues complaints into yes had 3 recommendations in the mouth options no into no ministers also the back penny for any then penny for aba back na almost so ahwe the be boa Ghana nyina the person can say enye your friend privatization yan ton ECG say wo ankra say wo say me say something say o person no so den adwuma as part of being part of ECG binum krampo ekeka senka yema workers krampo ento enya shares nti ni nyina ye niema ye ka ho asema just to make ECG efficient and effective. ECG ho nsem do so 2023 me ampo me kan madi almost losses was 28%, which is above the world world there near 10.5. And I cry because of systems in this city and you're more 20-21%. That is catered for in the tariff. But we do 28, there the remaining loss of 7 or 8% are your loss, which is huge. Because in electricity distribution chain, the wires business, if you lose 8%, it's a lot of cash. Due to us here, the cost to a container we are near money we really ECG we should be really be serious. Ultimately, yes, I may be a quite Dubik where a mini power madam for minimum. And I say Michelle, I wasn't very pleased. Say baby I know okay can some no me believe it's a CIA report near body. All you do is a press statement to you register. Yes, register your protest to say your body in a man be a won't pay.
But so man friend committee now friend.
But you don't go on TV and say baby how can you say containers are misplaced? They are not missing.
Yeah, or say you cannot say a container is missing. They are either misplaced or lost at sea. Once a Abedru port in the custody of Gapoha, they won't even Kasai. Because records.
But we have found these.
They are either auctioned or they are misplaced.
We find, but if it's auctioned, it's missing because it is not in my hands. Me purchase. I would talk me to phone where and then I maybe turn maybe I say phone and kasa the cost price you're saying. Cost price me tell you we are maybe I say the taxes that's what you're saying. Say me and me to taxes now. Me factor it into my calculations. It is a you containers in your ma order. I didn't need me that ho see what attracted demurrage. Na obiko auction. I see there's a cartel be almost chairman attracted demurrage.
Na oma auction.
No oma auction. The things in this container are not just ordinary nema. Enya tade, enya shirts and trousers. Implements and also equipment are ECG use to improve the network. Look at the cables are almost show ye. Intino obi ba faster container. It means onima jumanum. And at the end of the day, they find their way into ECG. No omakoye den. Akwakotono and now can be. But as a chief executive, it is your responsibility to ensure. Say even contractors a crana at top near manumpo to do work for a year. As I say, with me, say it is cleared. Because those near my ton for improvement, let's assume say Oma Tobia, Oma the baby is a rural electrification, which is done by somebody contract. So one to me and clear my contractor now clear. What depriving be of electricity? In a whoop anymore, it beholds of you to ensure. So whether it's a contractor who imported, whether it's ECG, as I see it in clear.
But he raises a distinction. There is the issue of the non-clearance of the containers. It did 21 days, I call UCL, uncleared cargoes list, and no. And at the issue of the missing containers. His argument is, yes, granted, the containers have not been cleared. They are still within the precinct of GPHA. I under the custody of GPHA. And he said, you don't blame ECG for the containers now. Yes.
Na we just send ho nsuo bono awia bono na wonko nkoyi a obi twam no ni shirt a obekwa koyi
no the shell line so obi ho shell line so
na make
obi agya ne say okay me di mata na say
that e bi kwa na nipa na shell line so no agya ho ntina wan kasa na wo shell line no so because oni ma send ho wasi nti from time to time cho konko hwe say awia bo awo na say wo shell line so agya line ho na tu kwan na kwa beba na obi ope shirt wo de ahye
afako.
So until whatever it is in the container, it is the responsibility of ECG, governing board, any management to ensure say you're clear, man. Ensure doesn't mean say me. If you ensure say wo ma wo fie no ma cleaning for my now cleaning, you have ensured that say wo fie you clean. I don't see why Dubik should come and say some of me personalizing, but I didn't like his posture. So there's extent say baby kwa or can be to say Michelle say ECG sika public money.
Yes, because it was a major contention in the committee's report as to whether ECG should follow strictly the Public Procurement Act. ECG claims they have a procurement manual internally which guides omo procurement because say omo IGF na public money when they receive money from the shareholder which is government public money they go under PPE but omo IGF they don't see it to come under public fund. That's the argument. Me a citizen of Ghana
and to citizen of Ghana equals member of the public.
Sure.
So we see kana udi tia tariff na PRC de ma wo mo enye private funds
inti a life fosika abandia
na
be kom sika enye
no nobody regulates a life almost private sector space.
Yeah, but Nana unim say what is public fund no public fund enye term of art a legal. There is a whole, when you read a committee's report, there is a whole
I am saying
what constitutes public fund.
Any private money, any if you say private, it means omo ye juma wo ho na ye omusika.
Okay.
What am I saying? Sika ni free baby, a free Ghana for ho na aba ho. There might be a legal to it, but commonsensically, that money, to identity audit to accounts. Identity a case omo public accounts committee. Malcolm Public Accounts Committee. Maybe so. Public Accounts Committee, your government is seeking for a call.
Semper FM.
Malcolm Public Accounts Committee. What's the man say? Your friend is saying, a life on Public Accounts Committee, or Lususika will lose, or per no, or per crania for the purposes of Registrar General, or per one your audited accounts. MD Bano see and 50 cities midini in kwa or the me shop me konam koko fam sika sem de koto dia enye me an me prudent aka say oh and me to ade we 20 cities maton 22 cities 2 cities me de to ye profita that's me fam sika nya nam kodia ayo bi asem me private money. What is abaya ba me aka say anase oban bi aka say me investigate obi unless say some crime anase private sector person why be boy evade taxes. But ECG sika kon ho na private. Maybe we should put a designation to it, but erroneous, it is not private money.
Yeah, but he didn't say it is private.
Was here public funds? But yes. You see, the moment you have
the first workers are interested in private.
But I'm saying it's a public fund. So in which domain does it fall? It is either private or public, unless it's we have put a domain a year in between private and public. Then we should start establishing a domain for that kind of funds.
Because Unim said the committee's report even referenced the legal opinion they had from the AG then.
Yeah.
The AG advised ECG said ECG as an entity, properly so called, under the public services of Ghana. You understand?
Yeah.
And for which reason, in the AG's advice, they don't necessarily have to come under PPE. You know, so make a whole debate. We should have a conversation.
This is what I'm saying. Do you get me? Yes. You cannot say so in this one, but maybe there should be some sanity in procurement.
Sure.
It's almost man the PPA. There should be some sanity. You don't just get up and procure things. Now we go. The fact is, when you because you see at the end of the day, the tariff that we do no, affect public no, because all connects when you is a law so. These are part of the commercial laws. Yes. If you say na a buyer no ECG needs a certain a friend is a revenue requirement to work. Yes. That revenue requirement is given by PURC, which is equal to the tariff, which is equal to the kind of a nipa etuaka. Yes. Do you get me? So all revenue requirement is 50 cedis. Now the move 25 cedis a cotton near mana I go waste. After we be na ba be tariff it me who was shortfall. So shortfall now we want to see a more tariff to cover the shortfall. Yes, I be collapse. Meanwhile, because of you your inefficiency, I might have to pay a higher tariff.
And where I agree with
that's why I use the word might.
Yeah. Where I agree with you on sanity no procurement and say yes. Say ECG koye bibi no mo boka. Because the company is 100% owned by the government through the Ministry of Finance.
Yes.
Some of their liabilities need a contingent on government.
Contingent on government.
And that's where I agree with
there
you.
There are so many times that government had to cough money to help. Now on the your friend is a balance sheet of government. ECGC is so as debt no. It's so huge.
Yes.
So also on your public, why does government know about no beso So we need to look at this holistically. We need to have a conversation. And in there are governance issues, there are management issues, there are procurement issues. Ultimately, Obi statement be was say they want some governance issues. You know, they ask you to make them rich, and people end up making themselves richer. Just they be sorry, I politicians so boss say woman interfere with ECG. But what about the people in there? Are they ready? Because our containers see a good party. What actually happened? We are chasing missing containers, but we have not waited or paused back to say what happened that we even found these containers at the port. That we neglected these containers, that we have used money to buy, whether public or private or in between, there is some form of a nima. I am madin, but the basis of it, and it still remains true, said there is some form of negligence.
And the committee's report first sentence. Say what caused it? Management negligence.
Yes, management negligence. And one of the key things with our report, as I say, there's some infusion of public sector was management neglect and the governance issues. We even termed it management incompetence and do you understand me? So it is there, and we spoke to 285 stakeholders. Yes, maybe we missed the ministers, and we might have to go back because it's an interim report to talk to engage the former ministers and also engage former MDs. Yes. Do you get it? Yes. Certainly, we get some input from there. This one is not a partisan thing, but the point is that we found out, and most of the people we spoke to, the bottom line of everything that happened was management governance. Management governance. Do you get me? And even some of the staff issues, negligence. So it is as if we say ECG nie yetimi tony e ma ye pe the autopilot to be obi a pen wo ye na so say suban bi a MPP fo wo because ukai inro bi no. Dr. Okoboy. Yes, Dr.
Global Fund.
Yes, Dr. Wrong party. A good wa proye, a be proye, be ye, or no be clear nina. So this kind of negligence in our system, no, it should stop. Because what can be so see PDS a time can be
some of the containers date as far back as PDS.
I don't have a problem. But PDS's contract was truncated.
Sure.
So at the point that it was truncated, they didn't have the capacity to even go there in which name. So then it behoved on ECG to go and clear the goods. And because this one is for network improvements, it's for you and me to get good quality of service. There are a lot of overloaded transformers that they brown out near Deba, but the containers he move transformers woman. As you wanna air then I say people need meters. omo hwehwe meters onye bobo ho ni meter say yentimi amebe replace man no
ebigu containers
mu na support. How can you just justify this? Nobody should be able to say or justify this action.
Apart from L&R, DNA is subject of litigation in court.
Yes.
The other one.
Yes, you cables go. Sa cables we minia. Se cables we yen turn abontin e di kosi dan cables we for electricity connection. Otima say, in the sa cables ye egu we nipa okokoto ye no. Enye ECG ano osan koton ama no. So then they auction it, then go and sell it to ECG at a higher price. So certainly there's a kata. Me believe it's a minister. As I said, so go beyond looking for the missing items and go within to find out who and who are collaborating with whom or collaborated with whom to do this. And your politicians and kwa anything you say. Politicians who tena konwa so a civil servant betimi aba be ka kire wo say ade ni say ne ye no. So I believe that to read the ECG has always been like asem. It is even possible say asem ni hu say maybe see a trick in kakra bi. Maybe public private partnership no be trick in kakra bi. Because you see, if we are going to use the same people to work with the private sector and a private participation, the same people. The same people you are going to work. Is it going to help? Is it going to help? Because this is very, very unfortunate. You see, be according to before obi crown post who say warehouse to be e wa be kan la pass ho baby and a junior the near my big or suspect say near money be near their big or see in the be warehouse. So we should even trace which of these items any yakwa kotonma ECG bio. ECG at what price? Obi, we need to look at all this. Very, very important that we look at it, because you see, it is easy to pay a tariff. Your mouth DSC, distribution service charge. Na ye the amount now would the kwako ye juma at that time no ye fending in a basic average end user would do where ye friends say or bulk generation charge a shame or distribution service charge a shame or the transmission service charge a shame bui susu so like a crime no so a back generation yakekani ya bonya average end user at the end of the day me baba betua ma send service charge. Now me we there is no prudence in
managing Sikano.
Because me when you know masama 8% rate of return, that is on your profits. So with the huge amount of money here, year to amount now when you 8% rate of return by international standard, no, the utility can make a return of 8%, maybe some 7.5 to 8%. Now what me is it not enough? Why then do you go do this? Now you bebre.
Very well, Nana. Mamintie Sampain so now the former managing director of Prestia Sankofa Gold Mine, Oko Sekendi Takradi will be our friend Chairman Basti, Papa Edaf. Yeah, Pentecost.
My official life in Amicia. Say the Kusi Yana, Nana Yaa Juatuah, na Ejakwajo Dallas. Vinchana na kwesi wachere Murphy also UK otio pa search na obi a wodi kan twa me warning Paul
de Suso
odi kan twa me warning na oni so ba Ghana wa hwehwe mi o afi no na wo abakọ afi na be tunkra be warning
me call lunch crowd
ene o de otri but me say be ko program bi o ho ntimi kwa me hu no yeah
the program na oko who opposition does go program oba yan groups akọ program we me feel they know dry bones dry bones no omo de na bi as dry bones nko
obi
yes
enne na nka me se meto bie ba kwa Nana Yaa
me no monsa
o asem ka
ayo mate
ya no say o starti o approach issue no eye say ye be say yemfa politics embem
Yes.
ena obeye no kutre ejana fita no di tuntum ebeta so ese asem
ene yi wani free ho
hwe asem we buy womo starti no political enani na me no kasai ye won krofo a womo ti Facebook eti social media womo ye no politics e di politicians atem Mustafa Gbande asem what they saying
Mustafa Gbande
what they say no beka
dia na Mustafa Gbande
o si yanchi na poni Afenyo
oni ha o ha na obetimi abe me kana asem nipa oni ha me kana asem
o da say e public
da be me kana asem
o can do big asem na o ha
so on dey waka no open
na we so no kan no open na ye so ko kan o kan no asha oni bi dem ngamte o ko kan no o
asha oni hwan dem be bia dey asem ne wa se boy asem e free wanu mu be ye o de asem e free
okay o kan no ba bi dem na meti ya
na o kan radio so say den
kan radio so no na num
but that is
enu asem no ne kan no na asai Intabema obi nso bisa se
ono so ni view no enti untimi mo
na chi na mo kan any containers ye ko kan ye na 2500
yes
ye ko parliament ye say 3000 afa dia ye see audited report say 1300 and something ayira ye timi reconcile ye see ko hu 40 wo baabi ye see na no kra de ko hu 40 wo bui so no pictures no videos ayaka atum 200 ya katum
na minister no betwa ntro
enti obi na ye ka di agu politician bi ho fi ananso say Nana Yaa anom committee no privatization no yen demonize ECG
ye tumi aton pacho ye ne no ye no
Nana Yaa nya abotre
me come mu report you we
or can't say the private sector participation
no.
This whole in common a part of the plan
to
prepare ECG
for private sector participation. Mustafa Gbande nominate minister no mo nsem kan no. And he said the wo mu si e kan sem no na me misu me bisa se. Eye some prepare nipa adwene. Eben ma ECG ho ye ahia na ye nton.
Mo chairman no kwa wantie no parliament.
Afenyo ma. Ene ye nton ana. Sa ena me oh untie me what you have book kabi book council man ka we
ka che ne se
minimum subanti
enye ton
okay
private sector participation
minimum subanti no wo kan se ma min kan
suban ya dan ei
se me be kan wo be so ma no entimi wo kan man kan bi entimi man kan asem misra
sampa hwe wesi yo unim say me no dia o de bad dia e mienu
so no buy we can say do o can say na djuma be di me obi enti meso madwene ni say enti yen demonize ECG yen ka say yen ni say yen na nya timi ma ya agenda say ya pese ye ton ECG na ba mu na
nya agenda enti ade na ya no hu
this is the question but me no asem we atwetwema so obi enra Mitio, ubisa pertinent questions. Law no, obi ubetimi adipa o. Wozi ye krata bi eka sisi ani. Ebisa questions. Obi mi pese meti asu. National security.
Asempa
obetimi akoyi on custom goods. So odikosie. Is it possible? GRA, Custom Division, GPH, set first name from Gapoha.
Yes.
And no na see we a driver now. What should be now the driver? Police for who I'm saying can Gapoha. One said ga no a chin from Uncle. Now po no the permanent P. And he said, "Maybe we po no the ebeba mo be home." Na omakoyi. Meanwhile, no, the matter is under investigation.
Yes.
Into more amusian law near lawyer for any security experts, no. Beka say you tamper with evidence. And in a crime scene, a hand on the emfa crime scene, any ejuma. Amanone. Mekai pass a kwebio shoot nipa 84. Denver, Colorado. Okay.
Yes.
I said, this year 3 days now. You call. You call me. Said that call. Say some day consent to me. Quack open me by me. You be maka. You call no omako don ho nyina. At the omo tape red and white no yellow and black no afa ho nyina, because they wanted to pick every single detail of evidence wamubenya.
Yes.
Yakofa yakofa containers ni bi obi 40 footer enye container ketua o ukofa mu apim ni akire edikogu hene eguhine
National Street, you know, some of the call my yard or Abelim.
Enja ho.
And only question and
should be there. Oh, why not?
Why should ho? Ho.
So, Obi, you have the capacity to go and see.
Yeah,
I won't be more alcohol.
Oh, wait, my man, so immediately. You have the capacity to go and see.
Nana Yaa Juatuah.
Ah, you have the capacity to go and see. Any day,
who hear me here?
Who show me the moon? You're offended now, Sherry.
But no, I think beyond committee report, no, we need a proper forensic audit to reconcile.
Obi, we the kata we stop we say minister so ya ni there committee bi so ya womo there sansa mo
minister we je mama e
ban saying and they could do
and all kind or say he's left it for investigative
now one a beg to me one be key actors no ya ja womo UCG enyamina me procurement mo enye finance minister and energy minister and any other minister obeying entity no and a procurement more said all kind no me nim so mo wo one more handbook bia a guide one
the procurement manual
a guide one a ye wrong send near my baby good pot na ye be easy said the former President Mahama no President 2012 bano said the Ghana baby no nyina guo no wo mu dua ya hye ho nyina no
allegedly
let's find
je Obi
yes
alleged Hundred baby odi asem no kofa me maka che say me no wo ho na akoka President Mahama asem na wanka ne ye dia ye nwie chu
na mezi Mahama na aji no
da bi adeti da akobo ni di wono na ne time be ne time be
kufa do de no bodwe onu de oye
koto wono na ko hye no
kufa de koto
say ne bra obebo ye no describe
me Mahama de ye yan koto obeka woku
ne bra
Nana Yaa mam kama
ene kokokon
me see samra no store ni nyina ni nro billions eshi
nti ejomi ahye obi na ko hye no
eshi yo
me see ejomi ahye blue market
ewo obi mre so
dem pese say blue market na ahye omna ko hye no
ewo obi mre so
ewo Kumasi jom na hye no omo na ko hye no
mu nipa ba ko ti radio so asemi na mhye no mu boys na mu do mu sma radio asemi na mhye no eno kra e hu court asemi nya ni 2 day nya botre dru ha ye be hu semi na mhye no
ene kokoko obi die
ta fa no hye bo manika one more near suspect some here involved no ye dey politics inti they've been left off the hook.
Oh, who told you?
Why now?
And your central stores.
Why?
Central medical.
And what's up? Because he said,
"Oh, Augusto."
If you a genuine saying,
"Nanya muna na mo abemu."
So we and Sema Nana Yaa Juatuah so ediato edwa na ECG ensensemi die ECG ho ensensemi die I was say by now enkomo eden omo achi nkrofo binom I was saying by now enkrofo binom dem especially Afenyo marking I was saying by now Afenyo marking omo holding responsible Dubik Mahama one interview be cry me chase na woye on TV3 o chiremu a containers ni nya nyirai you see Ghana sometimes to the beer. Obi timi be allegations ni ye jano na nipa kro ne nam ho free. Obi ko kan asem ketewa bi na se bi enye ade a timi di kayus ana pinche ba na nipa kro no yedi nachi. Na nipa kro yedi nachi ye hante no. But Dubik Mahama chirimu a that mixing containers no. Ye nyina ye kasa ayira no se nya nyira. And this same Dubik Mahama ena na owo honom last year obi nim die esi Dubik Mahama so oka kire Ghana fo nyina se wa resign from ECG wombreko a wamfa even one reason ama abontin se wo de gya ECG eti mbisa se can somebody just get up na waka se oh adwuma de ama me no menye bio all of a sudden one my reasons bia wo firi honom after some months ye discover say aban foforo aba omo discover say enema ayira wo na enema ne nya ade a se bi obi betimi afa ne keke ade anya ade keto bia na mom eye enema ne bo adin enema se bi esombo edoso na by now Dubik Mahama ye jano no oninam or grantee interviews ye radyo Mahama adwuma ne de owura wo ye. But certain things you do, you people need not to tolerate it in your government, in your governance. And you may be honest will be a bit and okay. As soon as so Kasai na much no. To say Reverend Team for Joe Mattis or Trekra Tebi, Kikan Sembi, and by now, this man is in sauce because o make allegations obi Eddie a year private jet and as obi the airline Biabahanoma. Ndro cocaine any sika egum money laundering sanse na ecosystem ye papa John Mahama se wo pese aban no nkofo na board so na de wo ye ewie pay a any single allegations obi be make no se wantimi anye accountable to that person must go to jail because just single allegation no ema o maimu na yeden boy single author of word ema o maimu na boy Kenya, they see Kenya. What you say? And teacher, unim the woka now, dear, why you who say, sorry now, Becca, anyhow. I was saying painful, sorry, no more camel down. Dubik Mahama should have been arrested by now, and Kasabre, the final destination, a jail. Because by now, no, Sika Sem any near my course, he was responsible for that. Ye then or resign what even led to his resignation. Sika ben a course and Nima ben a course. Afenyo Markin is a board chairman or not like a board chairman. Yen Bisano and now Afenyo Markin Jina Parliament catch a Ghana for in say science and some now, but we shouldn't politicize it. Afenyo Markin no and Kanye Sano Becca. Yen Missa say dintia or facade nano abba from our science in we home. And Nima bu on Mama Ghana for Yumbuya Ninguso. Aban mu ye bibiama niem bu membu ani nguso because these are the things a cause for alarm agana for edi ani di akire nti sa foto fita aye containers we ayire unim sika eso nebo obehu we no ende kwa mehwe news omoso omachi bi wo baby so it is so sad eya enti mama yen kan kware kakra na die ekoso no yenya no puma sibre yewra John Jinapo inim se sabre wa udi statement ko NIB attorney general as soon as possible mama hu the results enkoba se matra to honom na eda honom na arrest na moja case no Ghana win match ba ko bia na fedie asem na koda dabi mama me yenya ni sa because yes o man no de yedi na bro enchirima na yedi ho abro abusia fa comment tum hadom eya number 1 authentic platform Mega TV yankopon koso enhira enti we ensem a Nana Yaa Juatuah nso editu dwa obi dwumadi no eso wati ase enti sanete me ma me kibafo United States of America ma yankopon enhira ma me we bi UK yankopon anyeme ma bekese eni obi bia o hwe Mega TV no yankopon koso a enye de enhira abusia fo hai ena brebe ma me kwan ma me di mo asie mesre wada so be subscribe to your channel no na do comment atum na wa like na wa share na foforo enye biahwe makra obibia bye bye ye besi ehia bio